Yep. So I've been live streaming since 2006. I use something called Wirecast. It's another software for the Mac, and I used it off and on professionally for many years. I worked in TV and film for many years, and I'm very active on LinkedIn, and I meet a lot. I make a lot of connections around the world in different industries. And I met this next guest, and he asked if he could call me, and we had a phone call. He is from Hollywood, and he owns one of the largest grip companies in Hollywood, working for major motion pictures. I was looking at his content feed, and he is doing lighting for Oprah Winfrey. So I was like, yeah, you can call me. And he was telling me about Ecamm and how virtual production was about to take off. And that was like probably last March and April, just before the pandemic. We officially kind of got in quarantine. And so he kind of turned me on to Ecamm, and next thing you know, I've got a show with you, Strick. And I love following his stuff. Like I said, he's been in the grip industry. He started in the gripping at 40 years old. Didn't know the industry, but just wanted to be in the film industry, and went from you know working as a grip to owning the grip company. And he has got a lot of new things that he's going to be doing in the future. So I'm so excited to welcome Craig Burnie Burns.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, we
Hey,
got
listen,
muted
Craig,
somebody.
man, you can't be a year over 40. Like, what do you mean you just started this company? Like, you started the company last year?
Dude, let me tell you something. I will be 70 tomorrow.
Wow. Wow. Brother, you
Okay.
look
70.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Brother, you look good, sir.
you know, it's
Uh,
you don't want to be there, but you better be here than anywhere else, right?
That's
You
true.
know.
That's true.
there you
That's
go.
true. That's true.
Guys, thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so thrilled you're doing this. I can tell by the comments and everything that's coming in. What and you have a super you're great get hosts and you have great guests, and I tell you, this show is a hit. So super job. And oh, there's so many different things. And by the way, remember, in all of my references, because I'm 70, are like 50 years old, okay? But when you have Stephanie and Rob come on, that's like bringing on the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and then having Herman's Hermits with me here at the
Oh,
last
no.
spot. You got to
Oh, you're
reverse
good.
that.
Hey, we are definitely excited about the willingness for people all across the country and in the streaming network to be a part of the stream show. But Bernie, what you are doing and have done in your past is amazing as well. Tell me about how you start a lighting and grip company at 40 years old.
Well, very slowly. How's
Gotcha.
that? Very slowly. And just one second, because I'm a lighting guy, I can't stand looking at it. I
Hey,
have to
is
turn my key light down.
listen.
So
Hey, the lighting
that's a
has to
little
be
better.
right, right? It has to be
He's the
right.
lighting guy.
Yeah, but
Right.
yes, this is it with the lighting guy. For a lighting guy, you never get the lighting right, right?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I
Right.
mean, it's like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Wait, and now it's the background. Now it's the background. Okay. Okay. So
It's got to be together. You got it?
see, that makes a difference. That makes a
There you
difference.
go.
And just joking about this, but you have no idea how many times that I come into somebody and I'm teaching them how they don't even look at the background. Backgrounds first, the key and the interviewer is second, the interviewee.
Right.
But sorry, coming back strict to your question, how do you get on 40? I was worked in an entirely different industry, the automobile industry, and was going to get transferred out to Lafayette, Indiana. I had just moved from Tacoma, Washington to Los Angeles 2 years before. Of course, you give me a taste of the world city, I want to stay in the world, right? So
Right.
I decided I can make $100 in LA doing something,
Right.
anything almost. So, friend of mine, long story short, a friend of mine was a DP. He got me on a set for as a $50 a day PA for that day, and I was so fascinated in the production cycle. Okay,
Okay.
that I just jumped on it. I fell in love with it. Took every check that I got. Remember, I was 40. Everybody thought I was either one of two things when I came on set. They either thought I was the director or just out of prison, one of the two, you know. Um, so I saved every check. I bought gear with half of that check. So if I got a check for $1,000, I bought $500 worth of gear. If I got a check for 150, I bought $75 worth of gear. I put all that and started, keeping it in my little Suzuki Sidekick and all that. Just started working. Everything that I post about on LinkedIn and in my book and everywhere else, you know what I mean, is what I did. And that is stay on the phone, be nice to everybody, try to help as much as you can,
Right.
participate, work with people, make them successful first, and then you just move on. I knew a lot of that stuff because I had worked in business. Most of our group, the entertainment group, the marketing group, they've never done anything else,
Right.
and I did do everything else. So I felt that made my meteoric rise. And I will just make one quick correction to Brant's introduction. I am not the biggest guy in Hollywood, but I'm the biggest guy outside of Los Angeles County.
Okay.
Okay, south of Los Angeles County, I should say. And
Gotcha.
that area that I'm in is the equivalent to working in 5 states. Okay, because the population of Southern California is so huge. My market is about 15 million people out here.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
so while I have a lot of competition, I can still beat that competition with service.
I get it.
Wow.
I
Very
get it.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And go ahead.
so I wanted to ask this, and Brant and I have been talking a while about getting you on this show. Actually, you were we're gonna be on the
That's so
very
nice.
first show that we had. Like
I know.
we've got to have Burnie on our show, and it was more about Brant. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's more about the mindset that you use on social media right now, which you're teaching and training people how to have the right mindset as they go forth in any type business.
For me, that's
Yes.
right. Yes, yes. Attitude and mindset are the only things that matter.
Gotcha.
Okay. Once you're over trying to think, once you can say this, I don't know anything about this. I don't know the first thing about this. Look, there's nothing in this world they make uh, for people smarter than you. That's just it. We're about on a third grade level in the world, just generally. You know what I mean?
I
Of
do.
what you have to do. You
Right.
can learn anything. You can learn anything. Okay. What people want, what they really want, is somebody who will pay attention,
Okay.
somebody who is just there, somebody who is participating, you know? And look, there's a lot of a-holes out there. You run into an a-hole, leave, move on. Don't stick with them. Don't try to keep them happy.
Right.
Move on, you know, and ask for your money too. I mean, that's the other thing. You got to have a certain amount of money. Once you provide that service, you get it. So, yes, to me, it's not about what you know. It's not about
Okay.
what you know. I hire guys all the time to go out on the sets, right?
Right.
Honestly, if I have my key positions in there, my gaffer, my key grip, two guys like that, they can bring whoever they want on because I know they're committed to bringing guys on that are going to be workers, not
Gotcha.
knowledgeable maybe, but they're going to work and they're going to follow orders. Real favorite one that I say is if I had to select, and I'm not putting this down, but if I had to select a guy that has been working the drive-through at McDonald's or the guy who's just spent 4 years getting a film degree. I will take the guy from McDonald's without hesitation every time because he knows how to work. He can do multiple things. He knows how to keep his cool and he barrels through it.
That's
And that's
true.
really what it's
I
about.
And I know, a lot of people probably not understand, we're all live streaming. We're all trying to learn about lighting and camera. If you've never worked on a film set, my wife actually started, gripping, and it's a lot of work. It's physical work. It's carrying C-stands. It's taping down extension cords or stingers, as they're called. And
Stingers,
yeah, stingers and C-47s, right? Look up. If someone can look up C-40. If someone can tell me what a C-47 is in the chat, we'll get them a special prize. But
that's a car, Brant.
No, you don't give it away. C-47, but it is hard work. Movie industry is hard work. TV is hard work. And I think one thing that I love what Burnie says every day is it is hard work, and you just have to do the work. You can't just buy the fancy gear. You have to learn, you have to work. But one of the things that I find fascinating at 70 years old, I know that me and you share back virtual production stuff on LinkedIn all the time. Where do you see this? I mean, because you're in it. I mean, I know you're in the film production world. Where do you see virtual production and live streaming going in the future?
Let me just give a quick history of my live streaming. I live streamed since 2016, I think, like December of that, and streamed a live 1 hour show for 4 years. Okay, we kind of pedaled it out in the end of 2020. But here's the deal. When I wanted to do that, I wanted a 3-camera shoot. I wanted to be able to run B-roll. I wanted to be able to do everything. I wanted to and did go to live remotes, bring them in during the live show. I did all kinds of things. I had to have 3 of my guys build me a computer to do that. Okay. And it was great. But no one noticed in this sense that you see that on TV all the time. Oh, you expect it,
Right.
That's the way it is. Of course, the 3 of us, we know what's capable in the whole system. And, you'd have to do a lot of rigging to get there and get where you want. I'll let you tell you this, that I feel like my whole streaming area in that way with my built computer I feel like it's obsolete now in 2020. You know what I mean? When I got onto Ecamm, and that's one thing that I was telling Brant too, when I got onto Ecamm and saw that, I saw how much it had improved. Now, we were using, not to speak of it ill, and I listen, I like this program, but I could not operate it myself, and that was vMix. You know what I mean? There's too many bells and whistles. It's a very good system, but there's a lot to do. Ecamm is so easy to use. And you know what, too? Stephanie said something in there that really woke me up, because I think it is the way it's going, okay? She said, I was not a geek. I wasn't into all the techie stuff. I wasn't a broadcaster. I wasn't a media. She had an interest, and that's what took her to Ecamm. That is what took her to the place of, how do I tell my community? And I think that's going to be the driving force from this point on. Before, it was guys like Brant, myself, who had a lot of experience in broadcasting and knew what we were doing. It's flipped now. Now it's like you don't have to be the professional. You don't have to be the pro. You get on here, build your community, and you can talk to them and show them whatever you want.
Lights, camera, action. Join the Stream team with Strick and Brant and be a part of the Stream Network. Our goal is really simple. We're here to help you succeed.